Do you know what? Fuck this. No more being down. Let's get the show on the road. Right, let's crank the tunes up, everyone.
It's Tiny Taughty, aka Hood Hippie, and today I'm here with a Valentine's special. The Valentine's special I promised you guys literally on Valentine's Day and after Valentine's Day and up until this day. Late as usual, but I'm ready, all right? Prosecco is like one of the only wines I like, so we're going to start off with Prosecco. Let's get into it. Let's pray that I don't mash up my face with this. I'm pretty sure like I'm a specialist with opening wine. I've literally deleted YouTube and what else have I deleted? WhatsApp, which I'm gonna have to re-download again after this video because of my storage. And I literally bought 2 terabytes like a week ago and my storage looks clear and now all of a sudden it's full up. I think Apple is a scam. All right, let's see, guys. Ooh. Lord of mercy, that scared me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but I can officially say I can pop any bottle. I've been popping bottles. I've been popping bottles without injuring myself for a long time now. Pink Prosecco. I've deleted Pinterest and I've deleted Snapchat, so yeah. This is a struggle, guys. I'm doing this all for y'all, okay? Let's start off with a little cling cling. Cheers to life, because how did I get here? Where do we start? A lot of you guys might see me on your FYP like, oh my gosh, look at this lover girl. She's so cringe. Always posting her and her boyfriend, always talking about love, always talking about being positive. And I know some of you find it cringe because I've heard it firsthand. When I go back to the ends and I hear people talk about me and I'm like, because I'm not the same girl I used to be, guys. I used to be angry. I used to be crazy. Okay, I'm still crazy, but I feel like I've got way more self-control than I did before and way more self-worth than 100%. Way more self-worth than I had before. I just want to talk about like what actually changed me, why and how I am the way I am. I wasn't the same person I am now, and I don't look the same as. Look at me glowing. Okay, theory. Anyways, let me focus. All I have to say is I went through a lot and that's what made me who I am today. So before I start, this is not a shot at anyone I used to be friends with or any of my exes, yeah? You guys made me who I am today, so I'd like to say thank you. In fact, I'd like to pour up for you. And I'd like to say thank you because you made me who I am today. Honestly, if it wasn't for you guys doing me dirty, I would be nothing. There was a stage in life where, okay, let me just list down a few things that have happened to me that are pretty shocking. So one time I was in a car with a guy. We're driving around like 2 a.m. or whatnot. We started to talk about music. He mentioned a couple of artists he liked and I said, I don't really rate them. And the reason I didn't rate them is because of what they sing and rap about. He was like, but you got to rate their hustle. And I was like, yeah, I can rate their hustle, but I don't rate them. And then he goes, oh yeah, but it's just the life it's just the life they live. And me personally, I said, if I sniff and I used to sniff and I stopped sniffing, am I going to rap about sniffing? So to influence other people to sniff when I knew that life wasn't good, when I know that life isn't good, basically. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That was my drift on that. And he consistently tried to argue me and I didn't even want to argue. He went so much to the point of calling his friend to see what his friend thinks about the artist. And I thought, now that's giving me the ick, because why are you calling your friend when we're out here 2 a.m. in the car, having a nice little drive, talk, whatever. So that was done and he was getting bare heated. And the guy even on the phone was like, let her have her own opinion, bro. And he's like, no, but blah, 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 and then going on and on. Do you know what happened? He opened the door and he told me to get out of his car. Bro, I opened the door and I got out of the car and I was crying. Guys, how did I end up in... How did I end up there? I'm sorry. How did I end up there? Because I was here thinking that he was a nice guy and we have similar taste in music and that's why I should be dating you. No. Having similarities and loving someone is not enough for a relationship or to even date, in my opinion, because safety first in this day and age, honestly. So after I came out, I called my cousin. Luckily, I've got loads of guy cousins. So I called my cousin. He collected me. He wanted to smash that guy's face in, if I'm honest. And I know that he would have ended up in prison and that guy would have ended up in A&E. So me being the lover girl I am, I didn't tell my cousin where that guy was because I care about my cousin and I cared about the guy. Obviously, I care about my cousin more than the guy, but I cared about both of them, which is the point that I'm trying to make. So I left it and I never spoke to him again. A couple months later, he came back and he messaged me and he was like, oh, like, not gonna lie, I do want to try with you again. Like, I know what I did was wrong. There's just not a lot of girls that I can actually hold a conversation like you can hold. And I already knew that. So I already knew he fumbled. But the thing is, I wouldn't have known this if I didn't go for a bad relationship before him, because I recently came out a 3-year 2 to 3 year abusive relationship before I even started dating the guy in the car, and we haven't even got into a relationship yet. I just remember thinking to myself, thank God you did not ask me to be your girlfriend. Thank God I did not try to make you my boyfriend, because if I did, that would have been a whole nother traumatic situation. I thought I saved myself early. This is why bad experiences, you shouldn't regret it either, because they teach you things. Like, I could have been stuck in a worse relationship with him compared to even my ex. So moving into the abusive relationship, boy, a lot of things happened. I just remember a time when we were coming close to the end of our relationship, and I was having a birthday party, and I was thinking, should I even invite him because of how toxic we've become? And I ended up inviting him anyways, because I thought it's a bit sad to leave him out. I was literally attached to him. Like, I lived at his house with his grandmother, then I lived at his house with his parents. Like, it was a lot. So I brought him to my house, and this is the time I decided to move back home. And I was also going through issues at home as to why I was living with him even in the first place. But these times I had settled back into my house, and I had a birthday party. So this is like a birthday eve, like a happy birthday eve. So this is one day before my birthday. I decided to bring him. There's a games night. All my friends are there. At the end of the games night, he consistently asked me to come back to his house. And I thought, cool, he clearly missed me. I feel bad. Let me just go with him. Even though I was meant to go out with my family in the morning, because I was actually rebuilding a stronger relationship with my family, which I should have just done. I should have stayed, and I should have gone out with my family in the morning. I ended up going back with him in a cab that night. And in the morning, we had a debate. Why are guys always trying to debate with me? I don't understand. I don't know. Because I'm not going to agree with everything you say. I'm not a yes man. Like, I'm a very strong-minded individual, especially the way I've been raised. I've been raised literally on debates. So I can't agree with people that I don't agree with. Doesn't mean there's any hate. It just means I don't agree with you on a certain topic. And I feel like when it comes to men that are narcissistic, it makes them feel like you're challenging their masculinity, but you're not. You're just saying, I don't agree with your statement. But anyway, the statement was nothing to do with either of us, and he still got vexed, even though it has nothing to do with any of us personally. And he decided it should result to physicality. So he decided, oh, I'm going to kick you out of my house, trying to fight me. He ended up scratching my arm. I had a scar there for a couple of years because it was bleeding. He didn't even want to let me have a shower. He said, no, get out. You're not having a shower. Just get out of my house. Fighting me, dragging me across the floor. Madness. Absolute madness. The crazy thing is, I couldn't even call anybody because nobody knew about my situation. So I ended up calling one of his friends, and his friend had to collect me from the house. And then he was like, oh no, I don't want you to go. Don't go with your friends. I want you to hang out here. And that's another thing that narcissists do. They like to trap you away from your friends, away from your family. They don't like to see you happy without them being there. And no, they might not hate you. They might just hate themselves. They might have personal issues. This is the thing. Another thing you need to understand in these type of relationships is sometimes it's not to do with you. If you were any other girl, he would have done it to you too. It's just the fact that he's got personal issues and he's found somebody to take them out on because you're too soft. You ain't got no boundaries. So you're easy to take things out on, basically. So anything you do will make him mad if you're not making him happier than he already is. But nobody should put their happiness in you, and you shouldn't put your happiness in other people. Everybody should rely on themselves for their own happiness. This is just a quarter of things that you're going to hear, and I can't even state everything I've been through because it's way too deep for the internet. But I'm going to start off with a couple of rules and a couple of pros and cons. Actually, let's start with the pros and cons, okay? Being single, you can date whoever you want. Being single, you can explore more. Like, for example, if I was single, I'd become a flight attendant. I'd travel all over the world. But I don't want to do long distance with my boyfriend. You're single, you can do that. You can travel all over the world without even thinking about nobody back home. You don't have to tell people where you're going or when you're going to be at this place or that place. You can travel anywhere at any time. You can go to a party. You're not telling your boyfriend where you are, what time you're going, who you're going to be with, because you're single. Okay? There's some pros. And being young, it's healthy to be single. I feel like you should only get into a relationship if it happens. You shouldn't go out to search for a relationship. If you find somebody that likes you and you like them, then you should build on it, because love is rare to find. So you shouldn't give up on love. But you also shouldn't go out looking for it, because you're still young and you still got so much life to live. Get lit, be young, be free. Cons on being single. I'd say the cons of being single is that you don't have somebody to lay on their shoulder when you're going through things if you have not a supportive family system, which is why a lot of people that have like toxic families and stuff, they get into relationships earlier than other people, which sometimes can teach them very hard lessons, like the things that I've been through. Another con is you don't get to learn about the ups and downs in relationships as early as other people, because you might learn late and get into bad situations later on, which is why I'd say it's also good to date, which you can still do while you're single, to be honest. So that is also a resolution. Another con is just when you're bored, you might have to search longer to find people to go out with. Whereas when you're in a relationship, you can go out with somebody straight away. Like if all your friends bail on you, your boyfriend or your girlfriend's going to be right there. So that is some pros. But as I said, as a young person, I think you should stay single unless love comes to find you, or if you happen to be in love, because you have a lot to build on and you need to focus mostly on yourself. I would not trade being in a relationship for anything, because I have somebody to fall back on. Like, I have a safety net. I have somebody that's going to be there for me. I have somebody that I can build a life with. I have somebody that I can like vent to. Like, when you're with your friends, it's nice you got them as well. But I feel like with friends, it's very iffy. Like, they're not going to be having your kids with you. Friends, of course, they matter. But friends also, especially in groups, they can talk behind your back. At least with your boyfriend, it's way more transparent because you're around them 24/7 more time. I say rule number 1 is know your worth and don't be afraid to cut people off. If you are afraid to cut people off, that means you do not know your worth. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Cool. That guy, it's not about the argument. It's about how you deal with it. So you might have an argument with a girl or a guy and they might be aggressive towards you. They might shout at you. They might fight you. They might kick you out their yard. That's not the person for you. Because that could be a minor argument or a huge argument, but if they don't want to sort things out with you, they're not worth it because they don't care enough to keep you. If they want to break up with you as soon as you get an argument, they're not worth it. Another thing with that as well is some people in a relationship, one person might want to sort something out more than the other person. And that is fine, but it's not fine when it's consistent. There might be a situation where my boyfriend's not in the mood to talk. I might just show up at his house and we might sort it out. But if I have to keep showing up at his house, that means I like him more than he likes me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So my thing is, don't always expect your resolutions to be 50-50, because sometimes it's going to be 80-20. But at the end of the day, if you guys are both making an effort, continuing as you go along, then it's a good thing. But if you're the only one making effort every single time there's an argument, then lock it off. Absolutely lock it off. It's not about the argument. It's about how you deal with it. You should discuss things with people. You shouldn't have to argue with people all day long just to get one answer. You should also talk with love. That helps to solve things quicker and give people space when they're heated so they can come back to their senses. A lot of people, they want to play tick for tack, but that relationship is never going to last. Do you want to A, keep the person, or do you want to B, argue with the person just so you're right? Because at the end of the day, you guys both have to take accountability. Whether you're in the right or wrong, everyone needs to take accountability, because that's how there's peace. Like, no one's 100% perfect in a situation. Take accountability, even if you have 20% of being in the wrong. You got to take accountability, because the thing is you guys working together against the issue. Even if one person is being more cooperative than the other person, you still need to make that effort if you care about the relationship really and truly. And then apologies can be done. If someone finds it hard to apologize, not worth it. The thing is, we all have trauma, we all have things to heal from. But if you don't want to sit down and actually figure it out with the person and understand where they're coming from, then that's it. You know what I'm saying? Even when someone's angry, you could say to them, if you care about the relationship, you would want to sort it out without arguing. And that could automatically shift the conversation into a more positive outlet. Rule number 2 is do not be a people pleaser. Because when you're a people pleaser, so many things get let slide. And you might think, oh, it's only this that's letting slide, or it's only that. But it builds up into worse things. Your boyfriend could make fun of you one day in front of all your friends. And you might say, oh, it was only a joke. But then he's going to take it the extra mile, make fun of you in front of your friends, in front of the people that you network with, in front of your family, maybe even on social media, and now you're getting disrespected. Acknowledge every red flag. If you find something doesn't settle with you in your heart, say it. And if they're aggressive, lock it off. Do not be afraid to lose someone, because there's always something better at the other end. Just like when you get declined a job offer, there's a better job to apply for. Don't think you're running out of options, because the moment you think you have no more options is the moment you've already lost. That means you're not fit for a relationship at all, and you should focus on building your self-confidence, your self-trust, and your self-worth. Why did I stay with him? Because I was insecure, because I didn't know my worth, because I thought this is the only man that really loves me and we've been together for so long. Who cares if you've been together for so long? Who cares if you've been together for so long? If your friend went and slammed your head in the wall, would you be friends with them? That's what you need to ask yourself. Sometimes when you're letting stuff, a lot of women do this as well. You let stuff from guys slide, but when it's a girl, you don't let it slide. Give them the same energy. People are people. Even when it comes to cousins, family, friends, when someone disrespects you, you got, like, it's okay to give somebody a chance, But I feel like once somebody's done that in a relationship, there's no point, because you already know at any given point, if that person is willing to hit you or to do anything on that level to you, they don't really love you. If you look mash up during a relationship, your relationship is probably mash up. If you're starting to look ugly in your relationship is probably ugly, because women take care of themselves, and women should take care of themselves. If you don't take care of yourself, you shouldn't even be in a relationship, in my opinion. Take care of yourself. Do your nails. You don't have to go to the nail shop. You can paint your nails, you can file them down. Do your lashes, you can get clusters, you can go to the lash shop. You can even get strips like what I have. Do your hair, go on YouTube, learn how to do your hair. I learned how to do my own hair. That's how I even have a hair business in the first place. You need to be actively looking after yourself before you get into a relationship. Way before you get into a relationship, you have to be in love with yourself. You can't, because if you get into a relationship, you're in danger. If you don't love yourself, you are going to love that person more than you love you. And that is the gateway to an abusive relationship, whether it's verbally abusive, physically abusive, or emotionally abusive. Someone will take advantage of you. And even if they're a nice person, a part of them will still take advantage of you because they know they can use you. Like, nobody is completely nice in this world. I'm sorry to break it to you. You have to love yourself before you fall in love with somebody else. And remember, catching feelings doesn't equal falling in love. Catching feelings, someone can be charming, they can be funny, they can have similarities to you, they can have helped you in certain ways, but it doesn't mean you're supposed to be. It takes more than love, a smile, and a couple jokes to form a relationship. You can date and live life and travel the world and get lit before you need to do all of that. Tie yourself down to someone that doesn't even know your worth. Someone that doesn't even know you. Someone you don't even know. In a relationship, you need love, you need trust, you need honesty, and you need transparency. Because somebody can be honest, but they might not be transparent. These are the type of things that you guys need to think about, not just, oh, he's so nice, because there's a lot of nice guys out there. You may as well just go on dates and live life. You don't need to tie yourself down to anybody. You don't need to be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. You can be a boss bitch, look 10 out of 10, and live your life and wait for the right man and then gain all the princess. Don't be desperate for princess treatment. That princess treatment is coming. You could have 5 years building yourself up, and that 5 years of building yourself up has raised your standards so high to the point you will never settle for less. You will never settle for a bad relationship. But you could spend 2 months working on yourself, and then you think, oh yeah, I feel better now, let me get into a relationship. And that's put you 4 months behind because you didn't even actually build on yourself properly and your standards are still low. Your standards only went up by 2%. The best advice I would give before getting a relationship as well is, if you got loads of guys on your line, you're not ready for a relationship. You've got so many girls on your line, you're not ready. You shouldn't have to block a bunch of people before getting in a relationship. Like, you shouldn't be like, oh, I take you serious now, let me go blocking everyone. No, you shouldn't have to do that. It should be cleared. You should be living for you. You should be living single. You shouldn't have any ties with anybody. You shouldn't have any ties with anybody. You should be just single. No one says, oh yeah, I'm talking to her at the moment, I'm talking to him at the moment. No, your line is clear. You're living life. You're going try new things. You're going horse riding. You're going clay classes. You're going gym. You're getting your hair done. You're getting your hair cut. You're getting your trims. You're content creating. And then you go into a relationship. You shouldn't be having a whole leap of people on your line and they're all saying, oh, sorry, I can't talk to you anymore because I got a girlfriend, boyfriend now. You haven't even worked on yourself. You haven't even taken time out to analyze yourself because you're so desperate searching. I personally believe you should never search for love. Love will find you. And that leads me on to talking about environment. Oh my God. Guys, the worst relationship I was in, I met in a bad environment. I was gardening for a long time. I actually cut out gardening last year, December. Thumbs up to me, pat me on the back. Cheers to me for that, yeah. Because I was gardening, I decided to go pick up after a party or before a party with one of my friends. And the guy, he was bare nice. Be careful of nice guys, honestly, guys. If somebody's completely 100% nice, there's something there that they're not revealing. If I'm vexed with my boyfriend, I'm allowed to say it. If your guy's vexed with you, he should be able to say it. But if he's not telling you, he's going to end up crashing out a couple months later on a mad one. And he ain't even told you the issues he's had with you. Danger. Stranger danger. Because that's strange. Okay? For someone not to tell you the things they have problems with until a couple months later. That's strange. Okay? But my point is, I met him in a bad environment. If I went to a library, I'm not saying it would have been perfect, but I'm saying if I went to a library, if I went to an art class, I would have met somebody way out of his caliber. I would have met somebody matching my energy because that's the person I want to be. You don't go back to environments that you're trying to escape from to find love. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That's why you're in a bad situation, because how did you meet this person? And that's why I don't really agree with dating sites. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't, because you meet a lot of desperate people on dating sites, because a lot of people are desperate on dating sites. That's the reality of it. If you go to an environment where someone's focused on themselves and you're focused on yourself, you're going to most likely meet a confident person. You meet someone in the gym, they're trying to work on their body, you're trying to work on your body. Meet in places that actually are healthy environments. If you meet someone from an unhealthy environment, cheers to an unhealthy relationship. And this goes into saying, you attract what you are. Well, friends don't represent all of you, they represent parts of you, but that's the same with your partners. Your partner could represent the worst side of you, but the rest of you is not like your partner. But that's why you need to meet in a good environment, and you need to meet in a safe space, and the conversations you need to have need to be productive in positive ways. It shouldn't be negative. If they're talking negatively about a lot of people around them in their life, red flag. Because what are you doing with that type of person? Why is their life so negative? Why do they have so many negative people around them? In 2022, I went on my first date with my boyfriend. And me and my boyfriend actually friends before we started going out. We met through music. But our first date was at the museum. We went bike riding. We had a picnic. My first link up with my ex was smoking and chilling at his yard. Do you see the difference? And that's why we have a more adventurous relationship. We've gone on holiday twice. We've tried speedboats together. We've just tried so many new things that I haven't tried before. And I feel like that's because he would be open to that. Somebody might mimic you the way you are or the things that you like, but that's not actually them. They might see you acting really nice and they might mimic your behavior, but that's not actually them. You need someone that you're going to actually learn from, and somebody that's going to introduce you to new ideas, somebody that's going to teach you, not someone you're dragging along with you to everything. Oh, let's try this, let's do this, because it's different, because they're just excited because you're different. But they're not putting any work in. They're not telling you, let's go here, let's go there. You're telling them, let's go here, let's go there, and they're just tagging along with you. Another thing is building your own life. You can't be somebody's sidekick. Live your own life, they live their own life, and you link up together. If you guys' lives are combined and you're not married yet, red flag. You should be living your life and they should be living their life. Once you mix your energy with other people's energy, your problems become their problems become your problems. And yes, you should help your partner to solve their problems and they should help you to solve your problems. But it shouldn't be intertwined so much so to the point where you guys are taking things out on each other. You guys should have separate interests. You should be hanging out with your friends. They should be hanging out with their friends. If you guys are stopping each other from hanging out with friends, red flag is extremely unhealthy, because now your personality is being destroyed. They went out with you because you do art and you do music and you like to go out with your friends and try new things. They didn't go out with you because you're their girlfriend, because you was never their girlfriend in the first place. Do you get what I'm trying to say? My point is, your partner went out with you for you, and you're losing yourself by not investing into yourself because you're too invested in a relationship over investing into your own life. Whereas you can actually enjoy more and speak about more new things with each other and find out more about each other. But you won't find out anything else new about each other, and your relationship will become dead because all you're doing is focusing on how much you guys are going to stay together, fixating on that, instead of actually focusing on the growth in your own personal life so you can share those stories together and actually learn new things about each other continuously and keep learning new things with each other mutually. In a nutshell, I would say, if you're afraid to lose somebody in a relationship, I don't think you should be with them. Yes, you don't want to break up, but if you think that if you broke up today and your whole life would be over, then you shouldn't be in that relationship. You need to have enough confidence to know that you can upgrade at any time. You also need to have enough self-worth to know that if something doesn't sit right with you, you need to vocalize it. And if that partner doesn't sit down with you to understand your point of view, they're not for you. Because whether you're right or wrong, it's about how you deal with the situation. It's not about what's done, what's said. It's about how you deal with it to show how much you love a person. A lot of us have grown up in toxic households, which is why we treat our partners like that. But it's not right. You need to work on yourself before you get into a relationship and understand what's wrong from right, what you like and what you don't like. And you need to be able to have a period of being single without knowing that, cool, if I got with someone tomorrow, I'm going to have to block a whole load of people. No, you need to have a whole period in your life where you're single. Before I got with my boyfriend, I was single for 2 years, focusing on myself. There's ups and downs being single and there's ups and downs being with somebody. But you need to always have yourself, no matter if you're single or taken. If I could speak to 18-year-old me, I would tell her, there's somebody better waiting for you. It's not the end of the world. And on top of that, even if you never get married, life is so exciting. There's so many new people to meet. friend-wise, just meeting people in other countries, just getting lit, just meeting people that will benefit you in general. And I'd also tell her, have your back. Really and truly, if I got kicked out of that car and I had data, I would have just got a cab. Not too much on that. Have your own back. Know your self-worth. Know there's always something better. When one door closes, another door opens. And love yourself. You're literally the shit. You don't need to wait for people to catch up and realize that you're the shit. You need to know that you're the shit. And one man's treasure is another man's treasure. And God loves you. God knows who you are. You know who you are. That's all that matters. Shout out to my boyfriend, though. He got me this necklace, Paris Fashion Week. I love it. I love when people that I love buy me jewelry because I feel like I'm carrying them with me. But again, I'm carrying them with me, but I'm not attached to them. I can take off this necklace and I could put it back on. No shade to my boyfriend. I love my boyfriend. But also, I would tell 18-year-old me, do not be attached. Love people, but don't be attached. Love people, but don't be attached. Know your worth and add tax. Don't go below the barrel for people. Don't lower your standards for people. Don't say sorry when you don't need to say sorry. Go the extra mile for those who deserve it and step back for those who don't deserve it. Be you, be true. If there's a problem, say it there and then. Don't wait a couple years or a couple months. Like, for example, when I saw the earrings in my ex's room, I shouldn't have left it until last minute to bring it back up and pile all the issues to tell him. Should have told him there and then, because then I would have known he was walking red flag. And that's even a red flag already in itself, just seeing those earrings there. So approach things with love. Don't assume things. Don't get angry straight away. Because, yeah, it could be his cousin's earrings, which they weren't. But I'm just saying, approach things with love and be graceful. At least at the end of a relationship, you can say you tried, you was positive, you was loving, and there's no regrets. Whereas if you argue and you do tick for tack, there's regrets and you think, oh, was it me who ruined the relationship? And then you hate on yourself for ages. Also, if somebody cheats on you, just know they're the ones with the issue, not you. If my boyfriend ever cheated on me today, I'd say, yeah, he's got mental health. I'm not the issue. He's just delusional and he's got issues and he thinks somebody's better than me. Clearly they're not. My storage hates me, so that's all for today. But it's Tiny Taught You, aka Hood Hippie, and I hope you guys enjoyed. List down below any issues or anything recommended that you want me to talk about, and I'll talk about it next time. It's Tiny Taught You, aka Hood Hippie. Peace and love.